the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey Star Trek Fleet Command fans, welcome back. It's early in the morning, so good morning to you as we're going to talk about patch 55 Voyager Part 2. And we're going to see if, well, is Voyager going to have another good month? I'd say overall last month was a positive month, and hopefully they can continue with that with not only the events but also the structure of everything coming out this month with features and ships and etc. etc. And we're going to get into it right now. Quick reminder, if you are wanting to get a free battle pass, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, the day of me releasing this video, we'll also be doing battle pass giveaway on Twitch and going through some of the new mechanics. So check that out. Let's go ahead and start talking about what this month actually gives every single one of you, including new ship, which does have a free-to-play path to start. We'll go over that in a second. But this update is going to highlight the Intrepid Class USS Voyager, a new type of damage called isolytic damage. It's interesting. I'm reserving judgment. This does not mean I believe it's bad, but I'm reserving judgment until I actually get to play with it in the game. Talking with game design, talking with the overlords. It's interesting. I do like we're trying to go into a new path. It's not just copy and pasting old damage researches. That's good. This is something that's completely new, and that's actually going to be a theme for a lot of the features this month. They're new. It's not just copy and pasting old crap. So none of Rev's power creep arguments are going to work that much this month. We gotta see how well they do though. New regions to uncover with the Delta Quadrant space, new officers, and more. Let's start with the ship. Now, we will have a video where we go over the ship in specifics. And if you have specific questions about the Voyager, you can drop in the comment section here, but I will try to answer what I can. To go ahead and answer this question, is it a one-trick pony? Yes and no. I've gone over its combat details. Now, I did tell game design, I'm not a huge fan of it in terms of it's not going to overtake your faction ship, but there are some really cool things about it. Let's read first, and then we'll talk about it. So Voyager's an iconic ship, coming from unknown region of space, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about its abilities. Equipped with impulse speed rivaling the Vidar, it is fast, very cheap to repair, comparatively speaking, with newer ships. It does scale, starts at level 34, and goes all the way up, but a little bit different than some of the previous ones. It's not tier locked, it is resource locked. So it is more expensive to upgrade than a Talios or a Defiant or a Titan, but you're not locked by a ship part. So you could, in theory, get this to, tier 7 at level 40. Be very difficult because you will need epic 4-star parts to do that, but just give an example, it is set up in a new way. Also has research that will also make it better against the new hostiles, those species 8472 hostiles going against Erosion, etc. So, very interesting ship with a lot of math built in that's fresh math. Now, it's an okay warship. How many people are going to be taking this out to fight armadas? Probably not that many, but I think that's okay. It also has one ability I absolutely freaking love. It has a loot grind. You will have to go through a loot grind, but one of its ship abilities, it has two. One of those ship abilities will allow you to scan a player and find their base location. So for you base raiders out there, this is game changing. Nothing like this has ever existed in the game. This is huge. Now, if you can look at the abilities here, advanced sensors will let you reveal the species 8472 ships that can be found in various places. Has the astrometric scan ability, which can be used on another player's ship to reveal the coordinates of their base. Now, there is a cooldown on that, but this is something that you can grind for. Another positive is, yes, it has its own unique currencies, but there's no limit on those currencies. You go grind out as many of them as you want. We will have a video going over that by itself. So we have new artifacts covering isolytic damage and mitigation. This is a new type of damage creation in the game. We'll have a whole video going through its math. Short of it is similar to how shields work in the game, where shields stop 80% of all non-mitigated damage. Basically, the design of the isolytic is to bypass mitigation. If those remember your battle log, mitigation is part 1 of your damage metric. Well, Isolytic is supposed to bypass that and go straight to your shields. So it has a small percentage through officers, research, etc. to kind of fast forward your damage to go straight to shields and then to hull. We'll have to have some videos where we math that out. Don't worry, we've already got that planned. Delta Quadrant, as you can see, more stuff getting added to that, as well as the missions that are dropping out. But more importantly, really focus on this Voyager loop, which are the new hostiles and the new currencies you can earn by grinding them. Of course, the stuff you need to upgrade as well. Officers, we got Janeway, Tom Paris, and Harry Kim. Janeway is, yes, a captain that has a captain's ability. Wow. So we're going to have basically a new PvE crew, essentially, and I'm okay with that. It's another PvE crew. When you take hull damage from a non-player hostile armada, increase shield mitigation, and they're your base values. If you remember, that's kind of the same idea, how Strange New World Pike works. Officer ability is increasing isolytic damage when PvE grinding. Then we got Tom Paris. As a officer, when you take damage from a non-player hostile, increases crit damage for 1 round. You see its totals there. And then a below deck ability at the start of combat against non-player hostile, increases your armor, shield deflection, and dodge. So let's move down to Harry Kim. Officer ability increases all positive FKR rep gains. That's Federation, Klingon, and Romulan. So going to be very nice for synergy here, and also giving you more rep as you're grinding. Below deck can generate morale for 1 round against PvE targets, just how like Belana Torres works for Hull Breach. So now we have our mission slots right here. New researches. Voyager will launch with 1 prime node available. Just one, that battleship wrecking. But if you remember, there are there are researches for the new Voyager ship. I believe there's 21 of them total. Let's scroll back up real quick and see. I think it said, yeah, 21 new nodes in its own research tree, extending both your in-loop and out-of-loop gameplay. These nodes include damage against hostiles, impulse and warp speed, increased payouts from artifact exchange chests, and more of these nodes that will give bonuses to the rest of your ship fleet. Scrolling down, we'll see also below deck officers now have officer presets, and Rev's been fighting for this for a long time. I'm very, very happy about it, like super excited. Can't wait to see what it looks like in game. But below deck presets, Rev actually might be using presets in the future. Oh, I'm excited about that. New battle pass, frames and avatars, and let's go over. You see the bug fixes, and we see improvements. One improvement I want to note. Hold on, one bug fix. Bug fix. Let's see. This one was a big one for a lot of players. Fix an issue where level 33 nanoprobes give more ship experience than the 36 plus. So they basically boosted all the 36 plus ones, to my understanding. Quite a few bug fixes in here, as you can see. Just various things you can kind of peruse over at your leisure, but a couple dozen here. Some of them, they feel a little irrelevant. Some of them are relevant, so y'all can kind of go with that as you will. Improvements here, where these are kind of basic, nothing super excited. There are also a couple other things that aren't really mentioned in this run. We do have like the Voyager page that you can check out here. For example, there is, I'm assuming that this doesn't change, so oh well if it is, and we'll say it anyway, new field training is going to be getting added. We'll cover that more in the coming weeks. This is more just kind of a cursory overview, letting you know some of the stuff that maybe these sheets don't say, some of the stuff that's coming, and more stuff that's coming throughout the month. Having gotten a look at some of this stuff beforehand, we've already given some feedback in terms of what's good, what's bad, or what our opinion is. Some of the drawbacks of the Voyager ship is stupid expensive to upgrade in terms of just comparing it to the Defiant, but at the same time has some real big perks, some good features, and I also think it could be essentially the replacement to the ISS Jelly, that bridge between 3-star and 4-star, because if it doesn't have the tier locking, then you can just sit there and grind it and upgrade it and take advantage of its higher power, even in the 30s. You're not gonna be able to really go too crazy. You're not gonna have a tier 12 at level 35, but if you are level locked to your Defiant at tier 1 and level 35, but you could have the Voyager at say tier 4, that can significantly help players gameplay. But we'll cover a lot of that as we get into it throughout the week. Let me know what you think in the comment section below right here. I think there's a lot of good additions, but at the same time, we can't know for sure until we get it out there and we play with it in the game. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for those Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. Catch you on the stream today. See ya. Love you. Appreciate you.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.